Hey there! It's been a while since you've seen me, the big bad wolf, do anything on this YouTube channel, as lately it seems to be for a special reason. This one is, for the holiday season, I'm going to do another one of my signature read-along book and audio reviews here. The Lion King, the Brightest Star. As you probably guessed, I'm doing this in memory of James Earl Jones, the voice of Mufasa, who died back in September. He even reprised the role for that live-action remake 5 years ago. Such a great voice he had. And he reads the story in character as Mufasa, which is why I'm going to play this tape for you, along with celebrating the belated 30th anniversary of the original animated The Lion King. Yeah, I didn't plan to do anything about that milestone, but the death of James Earl Jones changed my mind. It's kind of like 2 years ago when Iago's voice actor Gilbert Gottfried died, but at least Jones lived long enough to see the 30th anniversary of this modern Disney masterpiece. Well, I say modern because I'm a pretty old tune. Anyways, The Brightest Star here was released as a Christmas story, hence the white cover bore her, even though it's not really about the holiday. The framing device does take place in winter, and it involves a very bright star, reminiscent of the Christmas star, along with the animals showing love and peace towards each other near the end. So I can see why. It's an original story that's kind of a mid-quel, while Mufasa was still alive and Simba was just a cub. I had mentioned before that for a while, from the late 60s to the early 70s, and again in the early to mid-90s, Disney Records produced a few sequel, mid-quel, and prequel read-along stories relating to the animated classics. You know, like The Seven Dwarfs and Their Diamond Mine, Thumper's Race, Ariel and the Secret Grotto, and Aladdin, Iago Returns. Then after the Pocahontas Christmas read-along in 1995, The Spirit of Giving, they pretty much stopped doing read-along sequels and mid-quels and the like. Especially when they started churning out all those direct-to-video sequels and mid-quels you've heard me rant about before. And a few of those actually got read-along adaptations as well, but not all of them, thankfully. On the back here, we can see a line for Disney's Christmas read-alongs that were kind of separate from the main storyteller series. So they list all of those in the back cover here. Yeah. These are the regular read-alongs they had at the time. Same when they had the Disney Afternoon related read-along titles. You know, the ones where they adapted stories based on Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, Tailspin, and Darkwing Duck. Yet they never did any read-along stories for Goof Troop, or the other shows after that. But enough of this yakking. Let's listen to this tape, and reminisce as we hear James Earl Jones' voice one last time.
Hello, I am Mufasa, and I'm going to tell you a story called The Brightest Star. You can read along with me in your book.
What a voice.
When it is time to turn the page, you will hear this sound.
Yeah, they changed the read-along page turn signal late 1992.
On cold winter's eve, Simba and I were together on Pride Rock, gazing at the stars.
Dad, look at that one. It's bigger and brighter than all the rest.
That star, Simba, is the spirit of your great-grandfather.
Yeah, in a way, it's supposed to represent the Christmas star, even though that's not really the spirit of Jesus Christ or anything.
Listen, and I will tell you the story. Pride Lands, there was a terrible drought. There hadn't been any rain for months. The water hole was the size of a big puddle.
That African music by Gary Powell is perfect for James Earl Jones' narration.
Everyone was suffering. Great-grandfather Mohatu, being a very wise king, made a law about how much water each animal could drink. He also said that lions should go to the water hole last, since we could go for days without drinking.
Yeah.
This new law went into effect, and all the animals were surviving. Then one day, a terrible thing happened. A selfish, lazy lion sat at the tiny water hole.
It's pretty much like a recolored scar.
And drinking. Many thirsty animals stood in the distance, waiting for him to finish. He knew they were there, but still...
That wind sound effect we've heard in a lot of 90s cartoons.
Finally, a very brave gazelle approached him.
Excuse me, most magnificent lion, but may I get a drink?
That's the late Linda Gary, a Disney read-along regular, doing at least a couple of female voices on this.
Turned and fled. When great-grandfather Mohatu heard this news, he was outraged.
How can we all survive this drought if even my own kind won't cooperate?
In case you're wondering, that's Avery Brooks voicing Mohatu.
Sure what. Meanwhile, the water hole was getting smaller and smaller and smaller. That evening, King Mohatu called all the animals of the Pride Lands together.
I am going on a long journey to find the answer to our problem. I will return as soon as I have...
Nice music here.
Great-grandfather Mohatu walked for many miles. He crossed the plains, went over the mountains, and through the forest. He saw the land change from dusty brown to lush green, and he could smell moisture in the air. Finally, he came to a deep, clear blue river. After drinking from the river, he stretched out in the shade to rest.
Oh.
That's when he heard someone crying. Curious, great-grandfather Mohatu went to see who it was.
Slippery texture on the
There was
pages.
an enormous green crocodile, crying crocodile tears. Great-grandfather Mohatu called out to him.
Oh, great scaly one. Why are you crying?
Slowly, the crocodile swam toward the riverbank. As he got closer, great-grandfather Mohatu could see that this crocodile was truly the largest, most frightening crocodile he had ever seen. And if great-grandfather hadn't been the fearless king that he was, he would have been terrified of this magnificent reptile. But the poor crocodile's eyes were red from crying.
They don't look red to me.
When he got to the riverbank, he was still sobbing.
You are a kind lion to ask. I'm crying because I'm lonely and I don't have any friends. Everyone is afraid of me, so no one comes to the river.
I know what that's sometimes like, yet other times I enjoy being feared. By the way, that crocodile is voiced by Brian Cummings, a longtime announcer for Disney, also known on his YouTube channel for voicing Papa Bear and a few others in the 80s Beardstein Bears animated series.
You must earn their trust again.
But how can I do that if they won't come to the river?
Leave that to me. I am Mohatu, king of the Pride Lands.
As King Mohatu was leaving the river, he bumped into a hippopotamus coming through the tall grass.
Excuse me, big hippo, but why aren't you wallowing in the river?
Crocodile lives in the river, and I am afraid of him.
It's Linda Gary
Mohatu
again.
nodded, then continued on until he came to a wildebeest. Great-grandfather Mohatu spoke gently to him.
Dear friend wildebeest, why don't you drink from the river?
Wildebeest trembled before King Mohatu.
Oh, good lion. To get to the river, I have to pass by Hippo. And I'm afraid of her.
Mohatu thought to himself.
Ooh, a little chain reaction.
Big Hippo would surely frighten poor wildebeest.
He continued on. Soon he came upon a zebra grazing in the grass.
Zebra? What is your reason for not going to the river?
Zebra looked around nervously.
Not all lions are as gentle or wise as you, so I hide from them among the wildebeests. But if the wildebeests won't go to the river, then I won't go either.
Great-grandfather thought to himself.
My animals have the same fears as the animals I just met. They all need to trust one another so that they can use the great river.
King Mohatu knew that he now had the answer to his problem. So he began his long journey home, through the forest and over the mountains. When he got to the plains, the animals of the Pride Lands hurried out to meet him.
What did you find out, King Mohatu?
I have found a great river from which we can all drink.
A cheer went up from the crowd. The animals jumped up and down.
Especially the monkeys there.
Where is it?
It is many miles away, across the plains, over the mountains and through the forest. In order for us all to get there safely, we must have cooperation from everybody. As we travel, no one may harm any other animal. That is the only way we'll survive this difficult drought.
Yes. Droughts are difficult, that's for
A
sure.
zebra was the first to speak up.
Begging your pardon, King, but we couldn't get everyone to follow the last law, and it was one of your own kind who broke it.
There was another Disney read-along regular voice actor, Corey Burton, voicing that
So I
zebra.
won't go to this great river without the protection of the wildebeests.
Wildebeest snorted through his nose.
Brother Zebra, you won't get me to go. No, I don't trust the hippos who live near the rivers.
A hippopotamus stomped his heavy hoof.
It is not I you should fear, but the crocodile who lives in the river. He will snap off your snout and have you for dinner.
Great-grandfather tried to explain about the crocodile who lives in the great river, but there was such an uproar that he had to shout,
Silence!
That got it.
Again, Zebra spoke up.
Now that we know where the great
Wait,
river
but this is a different
I
zebra
say
from the
it's
nervous
every
one.
animal for himself.
So they share
Whoever
names
gets
like
there
that?
First drinks as much as he wants. The last one to get there won't get a
It's
drop.
a little
And Zebra took off at a gallop.
call him the mean zebra in the
What
credits.
happened next was such a sight to see that great-grandfather Mohatu never forgot it. All the animals, large and small, fierce and meek, took off across the Pride Lands to be
Almost
the
like
first
some of those
to get
Christmas
to the
shopping rushes.
There was pushing, shoving, tripping,
Wouldn't be
stumbling.
surprised if that was the intention.
Shook the sky. First, zebra was ahead, then giraffe, then zebra again. Across the plains, over the mountains, and through the forest they went. Then all of a sudden, from way in the back, Cheetah shot forward with a burst of speed, and he zipped past both giraffe and zebra as if they were walking. But even though Cheetah can run like lightning, he can't keep it up for long.
Yeah, I mean, felines only like run real fast, like short
Now, Zebra had a
bursts.
mean streak, and when he caught up to Cheetah, he kicked him in the chest, flattening him to the ground. All the animals behind Cheetah ran over him on their way to the great river. Naturally, Zebra was the first to reach the river.
Huh, they forgot to add the page turning
He couldn't
signal.
stop drinking from the clear blue water, but for some reason, he kept having to pick up his feet, and each time he put them back down, they went deeper into the mud.
Well, of course, by that time, if the kids already can read some of the words while listening to this tape, it may not matter.
Stay back! I'm sinking in quicksand.
Ah, the old sinking into quicksand bit.
She quickly grabbed onto Zebra's tail and tugged, but with no result. Then all the animals formed a chain and pulled. But Zebra was already in too deep. He cried out mournfully.
Help me! Someone help me, please!
Now he's getting to be like Artax, the horse sinking into the swamp of sadness in the never-ending story.
Finally, great-grandfather arrived, carrying Cheetah on his back. The animals pleaded.
Ooh.
Help him, King Mohatu! Help him!
But there was nothing he could do. Zebra was now up to his knees in the muck.
Oof.
Suddenly, great-grandfather Mohatu had an idea. He called out in his most powerful voice.
Oh, great scaly one, come to the riverbank where the quicksand is.
The animals looked this way and that. Who was King Mohatu calling? There was no answer, so great-grandfather called out again.
Oh, great
They're one of my
scaly
own
one,
kind
it is
howling.
your friend, King Mohatu.
Slowly, the meanest-looking crocodile anyone had ever seen glided out of the reeds. Everyone on the riverbank shrank back. Zebra's eyes widened in fear, and he thrashed about, struggling to get away. Crocodile stopped just a few feet from Zebra and opened his big, wide mouth. His pointed teeth glistened in the sun.
Oh, what is it that you want, King Mohatu? As you see, Zebra is sinking in quicksand. He will die if he doesn't get help. Can you do something?
Crocodile swam a little closer and examined the situation.
Yes, I think I can help Zebra.
Crocodile swam to the riverbank and with his muscular legs planted himself firmly on solid ground. Then he gave Zebra his tail to climb onto, and with all his might, he pulled Zebra out of the muck. Zebra pranced up and down the riverbank.
Oh, thank you, Crocodile. Thank you for saving my life.
Crocodile smiled.
You are welcome.
Then Zebra turned to go, but King Mohatu stepped in front of him.
Just a moment, Zebra. I believe you owe Cheetah an apology for kicking him. And you should see that he gets safely home, too.
Zebra blushed and turned toward Cheetah.
I'm truly sorry, Cheetah. I never should have kicked you. I forgive you, Zebra.
Then Cheetah
Another Disney
climbed
read-along
the river
regular.
and climbed onto
The late
Zebra's
Tony
back to
Pope
go home.
voicing the cheetah.
All the other animals, careful to avoid the quicksand, also drank from the river. As they turned to go, they called out,
Thank you, friend Crocodile!
The next
From that
last
day
is
forward,
always tricky.
all the animals of the Pride Lands journeyed to the Great River. And Crocodile was always very kind to them, for you see, he would never hurt his friends. Then at last, rain came to the Pride Lands. The water hole...
One of those times where everyone is glad it's raining.
High. Finally, it was no longer necessary to go all the way to the Great River to drink. But King Mohatu never forgot a friend. He went to visit Crocodile from time to time, and would also see hippo in the water, and wildebeest, and zebra at the riverbank. Great-grandfather Mohatu ruled over the Pride Lands for many years, and everything was good. But he grew very old, and one cold winter's eve, his time came to an end.
Well, they can't actually say die here, even though he does so.
Went good days. They felt lost.
Compared to the actual movie where they say that.
And many of them started fighting again.
Oof.
Then a mysterious thing happened. Just when it seemed to the animals that without King Mohatu to guide them, their time of peace was over, a star appeared in the sky that no one had ever seen before. A star bigger and brighter than all the rest.
Yeah.
It filled the animals with feelings of peace and harmony. And they felt as they had right after Crocodile saved the zebra, and everyone got to drink from the great river.
So the Christmas star appeared when baby Jesus was born.
Simba, they knew that star was the spirit of their king, your great-grandfather, the wisest and most loving ruler who ever lived.
Dad, I wish great-grandfather were still here.
But he is Simba. He is with us in spirit. And that is why his star appears. To remind us to respect and love one another, no matter how different we may be. Now, we better go say goodnight to your mother. It's getting past your bedtime.
Okay, Dad.
Simba gazed up at the star one last time.
Good night, great-grandfather. I hope I grow up to be just like you.
Oh, just you wait, Simba.
I smiled proudly at my son.
Yep.
And we headed down Pride Rock.
And that's the story. And now we will hear the movie's signature opening song. Yep. The sun rising, the literal circle of life. Across once. And now all the animals look up at the sky. Yeah. This was definitely a great way to open one of Disney's animated features. Going right from Walt Disney Presents to the sunrise thing as the song begins. All the animals almost going the same place. Yeah, well, this is a departure from them having Alan Menken write songs. Going with going with Elton John for this one. Well, that sapphire is more like a dark blue. I could just see Zazu flying over all the animals going to Pride Rock. This was Disney's highest grossing animated feature of all time. The one Walt Disney Animation Studios made themselves. Until they beat that record with Frozen 19 years later. They even left the instrumental break intact here. The part with Rafiki and baby Simba there. Yeah, there is a difference going from Gary Powell's African music score for the read along to this. Yeah, it's kind of something. Hearing this without baby Simba's cute little sneeze. And then Mufasa now embrace each other. Here comes the part where Rafiki holds up baby Simba high in the air, like this. All the animals bow down to their newborn prince. Really, it's like, of course, it's actually only a little unintentionally similar to Kimba the White Lion. It's mostly based off Shakespeare's Hamlet. And it starts panning out. title appears.
That is the end of my story. If you would like to hear it again, turn the tape over. The story will be exactly the same on the other side.
Yeah, but if you want to hear it again, you can either rewind this video or click the link provided in the video description to hear it without my commentary. So yeah, they featured the Circle of Life song on this particular recording. As while it's not very Christmassy, it is one of the movie's most iconic songs, as I already noted. And the regular Lion King read-along adaptation featured one of the more fun songs, I Just Can't Wait to Be King. And the book and audio stories detailing Simba's life after Mufasa dies up to before his final battle with Scar, The Lion King Far from the Pride Lands, featured the other fun song, Hakuna Matata. It seems by that time, now that each read-along story had only one song, Disney Records was often sticking the fun songs onto the main read-along adaptations of those Disney Renaissance movies, with any side stories or prequels or mid-quels or whatever getting the other songs, like The Brightest Star here featuring Circle of Life, or Aladdin featuring Friend Like Me, while the Adventures in the Cave of Wonders expansion side story I played for you a couple of years ago features Arabian Nights, and the Iago Returns sequel gets the Oscar-winning A Whole New World. The Beauty and the Beast read-along story features Be Our Guests, and the Little Mermaid read-along getting the Oscar-winning Under the Sea, a rare case of the aforementioned fun song in a movie winning the Best Original Song Academy Award. While that Ariel and the Secret Grotto prequel I played for you 5 years ago features Part of Your World, or that movie's 30th anniversary. But the Christmas read-along stories for 101 Dalmatians and Beauty and the Beast and Pocahontas each got an original holiday-themed song. Still no love for Disney villain songs on these read-along titles. Yeah, Who's Afraid of Big Bad Wolf? That's just more or less a taunting song by the heroes. Though the Great Mouse Detective book and audio read-along featured The World's Greatest Criminal Mind, well, that movie only had a few songs, with Radigan's song there being the only big traditional style musical number. And the Lady and the Tramp read-along adaptation features the Siamese Cat song. People nowadays think that's racist. And the 101 Dalmatians read-along adaptation included the Cruella de Vil song. That was about it. Anyways, regarding The Lion King, in a couple of days, the movie Mufasa the Lion King comes out. A prequel to that infernal live-action CGI remake from 5 years ago. Which at least got James Earl Jones, who reprised the role for Mufasa, as like I said. And this prequel will also be dedicated to James Earl Jones, in a manner not unlike the original Lion King movie being dedicated to Frank Wells, president of the Walt Disney Company, who suddenly died before that film's release. And all that hubbub about the live-action remakes is such as for another vlog, one that should be coming up here pretty soon, actually. So stay tuned to see that, along with whatever else I, Zach Wolf, and Sam Valentino would do next. Especially since Christmas is just a week away.